And the hospitals are planning to make use of it more widely, so they make more equipment out of copper. Well, I don't think they're doing much now because copper is very hard to find now and it's very expensive. Did you know that Lucent fell from 100,000 employees to 3,000?
How is that a good thing?
That's not a good thing.
Nothing on there is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
You're just trying to remember bad things.
Health care deductions must reach 7.5% adjusted gross income in order to use it as a deduction. Well, I don't even know what that means, adjusted gross income, because I don't know how you adjust it nowadays. Did you know that Victoria's Secret bras have dangerous formaldehyde in them?
How is that a good thing?
All these things are not good, but some of them
None of those things are good things.
Yes, some of them are.
You're just trying to remember bad things.
You need to remember these. Listen, if you drink 2 or more soft drinks every day, you have a 98% increase of getting cancer. So it's almost certain that you're getting
How is that a good thing?
It's a good thing to know.
It's a bad thing. You try to remember all of the bad things.
Too much sugar increases the chance of pancreatic cancer. Fructose turns to fat very quickly, more quickly than other sugars. So. Birth control pills often don't work. Some antidepressants deplete your bones. You're not old enough to remember Tom Jones, the singer from Wales, are you?
How did we get to Tom Jones?
This is trivia.
Oh my God.
Listen, you know what's interesting about him?
I don't even know who he is.
His real name was Woodward. It wasn't Tom Jones, it was Woodward.
So what?
And he's from Wales, and I always thought that some of my relatives were from Wales. Because Wales is just hooked on to England, you know.
Most of your relatives are from Germany.
Huh?
Most of your relatives are from Germany.
No, that was on my mother's side.
But they're still your relatives if they're related to you through your mother.
On my father's side, they were all from England and Scotland, and I think Wales too. His name was Tom Jones. The name was Woodward, his last name. Okay? These are interesting things. Listen, don't drink Fanta drinks. They have benzene in for preservative. From preservatives. Benzene. God. And same thing with citrus drinks. Don't use Crystal Light. Oh, I never would use that or drink that stuff or anything. It has benzoate in it. Benzoate. Whatever that is. Sounds terrible. Sometimes they have vinyl chloride in bottled water. So don't be drinking it. What do you, if you have a bulldog and you cross them with a soap, what do you have? A bullshit.
Okay.
Everybody loves that joke, but I tell it.
But you're saying I shouldn't drink bottled water.
Right.
So what should I drink?
Faucet water.
Even if it's from a well?
A well?
Yeah.
No. What kind of well? All water's from a well, but what kind of well?
What about in Lyle, where lock former leaked chemicals into the ground?
Yeah, well, that was dangerous.
Well, what were you supposed to not drink water or well water then too?
No, not that. Oh my God, no.
So what do you drink?
Well, you were drinking bottled water, but bottled water is just water. You know, my friend's husband got rich, and he divorced her, and he got rich from selling water. And she said what he's selling is water he's getting out of the faucet. And he's putting it in bottles, and he's making a fortune. People don't know any better, you know. How many bank robberies do you think were?
Absolutely nothing on that list is a good thing.
Well, it doesn't have to be good. It's interesting.
You're just trying to remember things
It's
that are bad.
Listen, in 1 year, I only have 2008. In that year, how many bank robberies do you think were held in Chicago and the suburbs?
Probably a lot.
What would you say?
I don't care.
284. Can you imagine? If you're interested in the fruit when you eat it, every fruit and vegetable has a PLU number, P-L-U, on a sticker. And that number identifies the origin. If it's 4 digits, that's standard. If it's 5 digits, then the first one indicates if it's genetically engineered or not. And it is genetically engineered if it's an 8. And you don't want to eat genetically engineered fruit that much.
All the fruits in the stores are genetically engineered.
And if it's a
Every
9,
single...
if it's a 9, then it's organic.
Grandma, every single fruit and vegetable in Jewel is genetically engineered in one way or another.
Genetically engineered. If it's a 9, then you should eat it because it's organic, you know. Well, it costs more when they're organic. You know what a COOL label, cool label is on meat and produce and seafood and some of the nuts? You know what that means? COOL, cool, stands for C, country, O, of, origin, of, L, label. Cool stands for country of origin label, and so that tells you what country it's from. You know, nobody would ever believe that 17,000 people a year die from college drinking, and they say it's more now. And plus, there's a lot more drugs than there ever were with the young people. They said, you know, isn't that awful?
Yeah, and that's what you insist on remembering and writing down instead of your PIN number, which you need for your bank account.
I can't help it. Yard by yard, life is hard, but inch by inch, it's a cinch. That's a nice little rhyme, but it's not true. It's hard no matter what. Okay. There are about approximately 8,000 deaths a year, on average, from legal prescription drugs. People get hooked on painkillers and so on and so forth. It's not just that, you know? I know I read about drugs. Always be careful with the drugs. Oh, God. What would you think if you guessed the mouth of the Thames River in London? It's a huge river.
I'm never going there. I've never seen it. I don't care.
The mouth of it. You don't want to take a wild and crazy guess about
I've never heard of it.
Well, you know what the mouth of a river means, where it dumps into the... Right? It's 5 miles wide, Jackie. Think of all the ships that could pull in there at one time. Jeez, I couldn't even imagine. I flew in, I never went on a ship. Do you know how much Madoff stole from the people that he was investing?
Bernie Madoff?
65 billion he stole. God.
You know, you can't believe everything you read, and you don't have any sources.
Well, if I'm close, it's good enough, because these are a few years old. I did this a couple of years ago or something. A few years. Do you know that there are more than 15 million gypsies in Europe? And many of them come here, Jackie, many of them. God. And once in a while I see one of them, I'm pretty sure, you know. And you have a little bit of gypsy in you, which is not a good thing, but whatever, you know. At least not very much, because Grandpa Bertie his father was gypsy, you know.
Only because you say he was.
Well, his father was from the gypsy country, Romania's gypsy country, you know. I mean, but they're all over Europe. They go everywhere. That's why they call them gypsies, I guess. But Jackie, listen. The other day I read, Jackie, they said in the newspaper the other day, from which country do you think, which people are flooding into this country the most? Mexicans and gypsies from Europe. Gypsies from Europe and Mexicans from Mexico. You hear? But the Mexican number is down a little bit because there's not much work here, you know? Jackie.